Arrest warrant issued against the owners of Miss Universe, including the Mexican Raúl Rocha.
A judge has just issued an arrest warrant for Raúl Rocha, owner of Miss Universe. Apparent scandal arrest warrant for Anya Capon, former owner of Miss Universe, who is currently missing.
Everything that has happened in recent weeks regarding Miss Universe has been crazy, scandal after scandal, and we've reached the point where they have indeed issued an arrest warrant for Raúl Rocha, president of Miss Universe. Thailand also ordered the arrest of the co-owner of Miss Universe for alleged fraud. Do you remember this person? This is a trans individual who was the owner of Miss Universe for a few years.
I told you, didn't I? Didn't I tell you? 3 days before the Miss Universe final, nobody believed me. Nobody listened to me. Here are the consequences.
I'm going to tell you a story. I was in Bangkok, Thailand the day the Mexican woman Fatima was declared Miss Universe. And although it's true, it seemed a bit odd to me, a bit strange, like I could already sense it because several things happened during the pageant. The issue with the other owner, Nawalt, everything was very odd, very strange. It's funny. Even my acquaintances asked me, did the Mexicans steal Miss Universe? Is that true? And we're talking about, look guys, just so my acquaintances know, the people I interact with on a daily basis aren't Western, they're Asian. I live in Asia. So none of them believed that Fatima's victory was fair. Honestly, no one believes it. I personally have a neutral stance. Let's just say that the Miss Universe contest doesn't really matter to me, to be very honest with you. And I can't confirm that there was fraud, but it wouldn't surprise me either. That's the problem. Next, let's examine Raúl Rocha's modus operandi as co-owner of Miss Universe. For all his shady deals, his dirty business.
Carlos Loret de Mola exposed the alleged method Raúl Rocha Cantú, owner of Miss Universe, used to traffic weapons and stolen fuel for Mexico's drug trade. The journalist reports that on October 21st, Rocha Cantú visited the Special Prosecutor's Office for Organized Crime to make an agreement, providing information to become a protected witness. According to the file she consulted, the owner of Miss Universe would hand over everything he knows about hydrocarbon smuggling, financial networks, and connections with officials and business people. The agreement wasn't formalized until November 19th. Let's see.
So you can get a sense of it. Raúl Rocha would have pleaded guilty to reach an agreement with the Mexican government and thus avoid going to jail. This in exchange for giving information. Look, this shouldn't surprise us. It's quite common. It's done a lot in the United States, for example. It's the famous witness protection program where people who are criminals, who committed crimes, and who were even very important within the criminal organization reach an agreement with the prosecutor's office. In exchange for helping to dismantle that entire illegal trafficking network,
to traffic Huachicón, Lorete Mola detailed that the modus operandi of Raúl Rocha, according to the Attorney General's office, was that the businessman acquired and distributed stolen fuel from Guatemala without paying the corresponding tariff, running logistics centers in Querétaro. First, at the spur in Ferropolymers, fuel tank cars were received. Then, at the Quinta La Chingada yard, methyl tert-butyl ether and nita were mixed to improve the quality and appearance of the stolen fuel, until the final product was distributed. Meanwhile, for invoicing, the front companies Tabasco Capital, SADCV, and PTIH were used. Let's see.
Stolen or tampered fuel is called huachicol.
On the weapons trafficking network, the El Universal columnist says Rocha used private security companies to acquire, transport, and re-register weapons. In those companies, weapons were traded internally with help from former Secretariat of National Defense members. CETER was used to supply weapons to the Sombra Group in Veracruz, also to Gulf Cartel operators from Tamaulipas, including CAPEOCO and EME. The re-registration of illegal weapons with official SEDANA records was documented, which allowed them to circulate with the appearance of legality, said Loret.
So did Raúl Rocha Cantú allegedly provide weapons to organized crime in Mexico? I think it's shocking. I think it's very serious. Let's remember that organized crime uses these weapons to take the lives of dozens or even hundreds of Mexicans every day. So, if this is true, as several media outlets have confirmed, I think Raúl Rocha should be completely cancelled. There are people who have been cancelled for much less than that, and I say cancelled instead of jail because he really should go to jail. Apparently, he made a deal with the prosecutor's office, so that won't happen. Let's see what happened to the trans person who owned Miss Universe.
The Miss Universe 2025 controversy continues. On Tuesday, November 25th, a new setback hit the famous international pageant. A Bangkok court issued an arrest warrant for Jakrajutatip, Thai billionaire and pageant co-owner.
Just to be clear, this is a trans person, but here they refer to her as female. Is that okay?
The businesswoman, seen as a key figure since buying in 2022, missed her criminal fraud sentencing, prompting the judge to issue an immediate arrest warrant. This crisis erupts just days after Mexican Fatima Bosch won Miss Universe 2025. This occurred during one of the pageant's most tense, controversial finals. Her victory, hailed in Mexico as historic, was overshadowed by a verbal attack during the competition. Nahual Itzara Grisil, president of Miss Grand International, made derogatory remarks that drew global outrage. The attack on Bosch overshadowed the event and sparked a global debate on media violence.
This was when the hypocrite Raúl Rocha Cantu pretended to be a feminist.
I want to express my solidarity and unconditional support to all the delegates representing the 122 countries in the Miss Universe pageant, in which Thailand is our host country. I will not allow the values of respect and dignity towards women to be violated.
The guy was saying this while at the same time he was reaching a deal with the prosecutor's office in Mexico to avoid prison since he was selling weapons to organized crime. Unbelievable.
Court documents and Thai media report that Ani faces charges for alleged joint fraud between July and August 2023. She allegedly convinced an investor to contribute over 30 million baht, about 1 million, by concealing key financial details about her company, JKN Global Group. The court found the allegations enough to charge her, but she stayed on provisional release. Take a look.
Although Thailand is an extremely safe country, a country where you can easily walk at night without any problem, without any fear, despite that, it is a very corrupt country and has had a lot of political instability. Look, for those who don't know, Bangkok, Thailand is a very developed city. I've said it before, but it's truly amazing. However, nearly half of Thailand's gross domestic product comes from Bangkok. And precisely because of acts of corruption, inefficiency, and many other things, Thailand's economy is becoming stagnant and no longer growing. And it's allowing its neighbors, who used to be poor countries next to Thailand, to catch up and even surpass them. The best example is Vietnam, which was about 10 times poorer than Thailand just 20-25 years ago, and it's already about to catch up. Some analysts and economists estimate that Vietnam will overtake Thailand economically by 2028. So, Thailand is a country that, despite being safe, despite being considered the land of smiles, has the same structural problems as Latin America, except for the issue of insecurity.
In June 2025, Annie was still publicly active in Miss Universe until she vanished from the spotlight at the end of October. Since early November, several Thai media reported she may have left the country, with some claiming she sought refuge in Mexico. The official JKN website took down her profile mid-month, sparking further speculation.
That Raúl Rocha protected her, don't you think?
But who is he really? At 46, Annie Jakrajutatip is among Southeast Asia's most influential transgender women and appeared on the Forbes list for her wealth. Associated with JKN Global Group, she bought Miss Universe in October 2022 for $20 million, becoming the face of a more inclusive, media-driven era for the pageant. Since 2023, her empire has faced crisis, with JKN seeking debt restructuring on November 9. The Securities and Exchange Commission of Thailand launched probes into alleged accounting irregularities by her and her sister. The current case against her involves alleged falsified financial statements in 2023 and omitted information in 2024, when JKN sold half of Miss Universe to Mexican businessman Raúl Rocha. Thai authorities are probing if the transaction hid losses, debts, or irregular finances. The Thai stock market faces uncertainty amid rumors Annie converted large sums to cryptocurrency before vanishing.
Everything surrounding the owners of Miss Universe is very shady, don't you think? If there are any updates, we'll keep you informed because seriously, this thing is getting more important every day. So gentlemen, thank you very much and see you next time.